Walking away doesn't punish the avoidant. It removes the distraction that was hiding the emptiness they've been carrying their entire life. Your presence, your pursuit, your attempts to bridge their emotional distance gave them something to resist against, something to manage, something that kept them from facing the hollow architecture of their internal world. When you leave, the noise stops. And in that silence, the misery they've been outrunning becomes the only thing left to feel. Number 1, your absence removes the illusion that their detachment is a choice. While you were pursuing, the avoidant could frame their emotional unavailability as a strategic preference, a deliberate selection of independence over entanglement, freedom over obligation. They weren't alone. They were choosing solitude. They weren't incapable of intimacy. They simply didn't want it with you. Your presence allowed them to maintain this narrative because there was always someone trying to connect, someone demonstrating that connection was available if they wanted it. When you walk away, this story collapses. There's no one left to reject, no one left to keep at arm's length, no one left to prove their independence against. The detachment stops being a choice and becomes their default state of existence. Permanent, unchanging, and utterly devoid of meaning. They're forced to sit with the reality that they're not selectively unavailable. They're fundamentally isolated. And isolation without the performance of choice is just loneliness wearing their face. Subscribe to explore the psychological truths people spend their lives avoiding. Number 2, they lose the only evidence that they're capable of mattering to someone. The avoidance self-concept is built on the belief that they're unworthy of sustained love, that their authentic self is too flawed to hold anyone's genuine interest. Your presence, even as you struggled against their walls, contradicted this belief. Your pursuit was proof that someone saw value in them, despite their unavailability, that they mattered enough for someone to keep trying. When you walk away, you take this evidence with you. What remains is the uninterrupted voice of their core wound telling them exactly what they've always believed. That they are fundamentally unlovable. That anyone who gets close enough sees the defectiveness they've been hiding. That their isolation is deserved. Your absence doesn't create this misery. It exposes that it was always there, waiting beneath every moment of connection you offered that they refused to fully receive. They're left with the unbearable confirmation that their worst fear about themselves might actually be true. Number 3, your leaving forces them to confront that their attachment style is a life sentence, not a phase. The avoidant carries a quiet hope buried beneath their defenses, that someday, with the right person, under the right circumstances, they'll suddenly become capable of intimacy without terror. Your presence kept this hope alive because the relationship's continuation suggested possibility. Maybe tomorrow they'd feel safe enough to let you in. Maybe next week the walls would come down. When you walk away, this fantasy dies. You weren't the wrong person. You were someone who tried, and they still couldn't do it. The right circumstances aren't coming because no circumstances override their nervous system's fundamental wiring. Your absence is the moment they realize that every future connection will follow the same pattern. Initial attraction, gradual withdrawal, eventual abandonment by someone who wanted more than they can give. The misery isn't the loss of you specifically. It's the realization that they will repeat this cycle until they die. That their attachment style isn't something they're working through, but something they are. That the loneliness they feel now is the loneliness they'll feel in every relationship that follows. When you walk away, you don't make them miserable. You just stop distracting them from the misery that's been their constant companion all along.